Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you guys some highlights from my first ever true bulk CGC submission. And then I've also got a really cool purchase that I've made. Some of you might be able to guess what it is. I'm really torn over what I should do with it, but I think ultimately I know what I'm going to have to do with it. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to show you guys the best grades that I got. For most of these cards that I submitted, I believe I submitted around 10 of. Some of these I only submitted 5 of. But like these Pichus, these were all sitting back in the box. Most of the ones that I had were 9 and 9.5. I had a few that were lower than the 9 grade, I believe, but none higher than a 9.5. So you can see that one there. Let's see what I have next. Looks like we have Ancient Mew. Again, it was similar with this one. The highest that I had was 9.5 on the Ancient Mews that I submitted. I did have several of the 9.5s and 9s, I believe, and I think I had a lot of 8.5s as well with this one. Not sure if I had anything below 8.5 on the Ancient Mew. Next up, we have the Eevee. Man, it would have been cool to see this one in a 10 just to see where the price would have went. But the highest I did get as well, and this one was a 9.5. I think I had maybe 2 or 3 in the 9.5 grade. So technically it's a gem mint, which is the same as PSA. But I think this is one of those cards where the PSA 10, it's very, very high price because of the low pop and popularity of not only this card, but the set in general, and people trying to complete the set. So for me, I'm not even sure that a pristine 10 from CGC would compete with a PSA 10 on a card like this. Now, a perfect 10, that's another story. I don't even know where that would go. Next up, we have Professor Elm. This is one of the few cards I was able to get a 10 in. You can see right here, this one did get the pristine, not the perfect. But so I think I submitted again around 10 of these. I've got a lot of these Professor Elms still set back. Every now and then I'll get lucky on a PSA submission and pull 10s, but in general these are all cards that I don't pull 10s from PSA as well. So I figured if I sent these to CGC, I wouldn't have a lot to lose. You know, if I pulled a 10 on a few of them here and there, I mean, that might actually work out better. A lot of times when I submit these cards, these old reverse hollows or WotC hollows, they don't do that well even at PSA because they're so easily scratched or have a print line. Like this Entei, I'm not sure, you know, maybe it was just something that was off on the centering, or like that little white dot up there, you know, that's probably what kept it from getting the pristine 10. But I think I had a lot of 9.5s on the Entei. Here's an Electabuzz from the Best of Game promos. I used to be able to get these pretty easy in 10. The Best of Game Electabuzz, the Hitmonchan, the Rockets Hitmonchan, and the Rockets Mewtwo. I've had some submissions where I had greater than 50% 10s on. Those were older submissions. I have yet to been able to replicate that. In fact, I had a recent submission where I sent in, it was probably 100 or so of each of the Hitmonchans, and almost all of them come back 7s and 8s, and I was just like, wow. And because they all come straight from sealed packs. So whatever that grader had saw that day, you know, he pulled almost 2 grades off for each one of them. Same with this one. A lot of them were 9.5s and 9s. Still very strong, high grades. No 10s though, so the highest I had was a 9.5. Now these, I've never had a water energy grade as a 10 from any company. It's on my list of to gets. I believe Gem Mint Pokemon has a few of these that he's still looking for, but yeah, these are really bad for print lines. I mean, you have so much hollow going on there. They're in this pack of 25 that they rub around. Now, I will say these all come from packs of 25. I only graded 5 of each of the energies. Highest I got on a Psychic Energy was a 9. What do we have here? Again, Psychic Energy, or Water Energy, and the Lightning Energy. I've never had a 10 on any of these. We've got a quad swirl on this one. Did get a 9.5, so that was pretty cool to at least see a bump up a little bit. It'll replace the 9 that's in my personal collection. Recycle Energy, I have seen a few 10s on this one. I think I've seen 3. This one doesn't have as much reverse hollow to look at, or that covers the card, and it's a little bit darker. But yeah, this one pulled the 9.5. No 10s on this submission. There's the Grass Energy. Never gotten a 10 on this one either, any grading company. Fire Energy. I believe I've gotten 1 10 on a Fire Energy before. And the highest I got on this submission was a 9. And I submitted several hundred of each a while back to PSA. I've since sold through all of them. The only one that I have gotten a 10 on is the Fighting Energy. I believe I've gotten 2 or 3 10s on a Fighting Energy from PSA out of several hundred. But out of these 5 that I submitted, the 9.5 was the highest. Next up, we're going to move on to some pre-release cards. You can see right there, there's the pre-release stamp. This is the pre-release Raichu, but not the pre-release Raichu, the one that is kind of like folklore. But highest I pulled on that one was a 9. All of these come from sealed packs. Got a 9.5 on the Motham. Got a 9.5 on the Luxio. You can see all of these are the pre-release promos. I think the centering hurt some of these. Got the 9 there. I know some of the Mothams, man, they were pretty bad. 9.5 highest grade on the Milotic. 9.5 highest on the Tropius. The centering, and I believe there might have been some. Yeah, some of these had little white dots, but you can see the centering's not too perfect on it. I think there might be a tiny white dot there, so that's probably what pulled away from this one. Now, for whatever reason, on the Metang, I was able to pull a couple of 10s. I think it was like 3 or 4 10s on the Metang. So that was pretty cool. Maybe because they were just that much better centered. The condition looked pretty optimal. That's on the case. That's on the case. And I'm not really seeing anything right offhand. I didn't get any perfects, but was kind of cool to look at. Now, I did submit quite a few of these UPC Charizard V, V-Star, and V-Maxes. I didn't examine any of these for condition before I sent them in. I simply just sent them in. I opened up the packs and sent them in because I just want to see how they would on average grade. Highest grade I got was a 9.5 on the Charizard V. You guys know that's my favorite. Highest was a 9.5 on the VMAX, and then also highest was a 9.5 on the V-Star. So none of the ones that I graded in this first batch, which there was 10 of each, got a pristine or perfect 10. I would really like to get some perfect 10s on these, but it's probably just going to be some time going through some of the ones that are not as well centered. You can see right here, that's probably what hit on this one, because this one, it looks really well centered on the front. So I'm hoping that all the ones I sent in just don't have like a mismatch of front centering and back centering, because that would make it tough to get a 10. Because even though it looks centered well on the front, this back side, you can tell, you know, it's definitely got a smaller right side, maybe even a smaller bottom side as well. The top and bottom is usually a little tougher to see, but the left to right, it's pretty obvious, you know. And that one was a 9.5. Also had a pre-release Heart Gold Soul Silver Pichu. These don't have the pre-release like stamp anymore. They switched over to the set symbol, which I really like that. It kind of mimics the what we have now with the build and battle boxes. And then last we had this Electivire again, the 9.5. So only 2 cards end up pulling the 10 on this bulk submission, the Metang and the Professor Elm. I think in total there was like 4 or 5 pristine 10s, but I had a lot of 9s, a lot of 9.5s. Really solid grades, and I didn't go with the sub grades. It's gonna make it easier to sell too, 'cause I can take one stock picture. But I'm gonna show you guys now what you might have been waiting for. I don't know how this zoom is going to work, so I'm going to just pull it up. And we'll see if it zooms well enough on what I'm getting ready to show you, because it's pretty big. I think it's pretty cool. So you guys could you'll probably recognize what we have here. You can't see the whole thing on the picture. But this is a case of base set. I told you guys I was thinking about picking up one. And this is an open case. The boxes are supposed to be pretty case fresh, and you can even see where the imprint on this one, you can slightly make out the bottom of this box, like where the triangles are. You see how there's triangles, the left and right? You can actually see it on the cellophane a little bit on this box. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see where that goes, even though it's really blurry. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to pick up a case after all this time, and you can see right there. I don't know if this was the original case it was in or not. I assume it was. I don't know why you would have swapped them out. But yeah, this one was already opened. But you can see right there, there's all the information on it. You can see where he had just put tape back over it. When it was shipped very well. We are going to be breaking at least one of these boxes for the Tuesday opening. And it's a shame to break boxes, you know, they're so nice looking, but I'm going to go through. I'm going to probably pick out the ones that have the most shelf wear. Work with those first. I do have some booster boxes that are pre-sold. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching the video. We should have some more coming out very soon. If you're interested in any of these cards that were graded by CGC, just be on the lookout on my eBay. A lot of them I already do have for sale. Some of them that I don't in other grades. But just give me a little bit of time. Got to get them scanned in, and then we'll start selling them. Maybe even sending some through auction, kind of seeing how the price differs from the 9.5 to a PSA 9, because some of these I imagine there's a little bit of markup, but I just don't know how much there would be for that 0.5 grade. But guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and we should have another one very soon.